folks, Rob here, bringing another unbagging. This is going to be a bit of a mystery bundle. I got this from Caslo, and on the back is a nice Ritter Creek advertisement. On the front is a LFT scenario. So it's an LFT scenario pack. I really have no idea. I think there's a board in here, but I honest to goodness have no idea what's inside this thing besides scenario cards. It's size for the European A4 size, so it might be an LFT scenario pack. So let's open it up and see what's inside. All right, but be careful. This one, we cut it. Don't want to cut too much. All right, let's see what's inside. Oh, there we go. This is backwards, so it was packaged incorrectly. It's from the Cellar Pack 11. There we go. So it should have been face up. So it's a counter sheet, scenarios, and from the Cellar Pack 11. So whoever packaged this, they just packaged it incorrectly. All right, so let's see what from the Cellar Pack 11 is. Came out 2021. We have some generalities into the game and then some hip articles, bore sighting, and fortification entrenchments. Improving defensive play. I probably could have used that when I was going into Caslo. Defending victory conditions, platoons, how to deploy, manning key support weapons. That's always important. Yeah, how to use half squads in defense. As speed bumps is a good way to use them. Just to slow down the enemy while your main force has a chance to adjust where the primary threat's coming from. Very nice. Yeah, I could have used this article in Caslo. My defense wasn't that stellar. I played 5 scenarios in Caslo. Every one of them I was in the defense. It would have been interesting to have this. How to use hip properly in the defense. Like when you have a hip gun, do not by any means run one of your units through that location, because in the off chance it gets fired at, it may inadvertently trigger your hip unit. So you don't want to do that. Well, not in a defensive fire, not first fire, for example, it won't hit it. But if you stop in that location and you get tagged, you're going to end up hitting your hip guy as well. So you don't want to be doing that. Wow, that's a lengthy defensive article. Very handy. This alone makes this magazine worthwhile. Road paths, always have your way for your dudes to fall back in. Having entrenchments in certain locations is rather key, just because you want to be able to get out of your foxholes, because sometimes they could be death traps. Wow, that is a lengthy article. Half this magazine right now is dedicated to defense. Wow. And now the art of improving your defensive play with the art of skulking. Skulking is a good tactic. The point of this would be when you have units in front, you drop them back so they don't get a shot at. Maybe if you have concealed units behind, you move them forward and let your units you retreated gain concealment, and you just keep cycling them back and forth. And in the process, you deny the enemy to use their full firepower. Now, this is not going to be effective if he has assault fire capable troops. They're just going to be moving into your positions, but it's one way to slow down the enemy, because his Death Star stacks are not going to be able to shoot at you. How to defend with tanks. This whole magazine is on defense. Pack 11, Player's Guide to Self-Defense. Oh, there you go. I guess I should have read the title when I opened this up. Very excellent magazine. Uh, from the Cellar, Pack 11. You guys that struggle with the defense like me, this is probably going to be a good manual to have on hand, if for no other reason than it's got those articles. Counters and snares aside, Pack 11 is definitely going to be a good one. All right, so we got some counters here from LFT for the Green Hell of Inor, which is one of the packs that I already opened up. And very flimsy cardboard. Look at the bend on that. Not impressed with that. The art looks really good. But again, see the unit symbols there? Really close to the corners where you're going to clip. Unless you're one of those heathens that doesn't clip. You're going to be losing a lot of material when you clip those units insignia off the counter. And if you look like this down the side of the sheet, you can check out the registration. And again, you can see very much how the close the counters are to the corners. Yeah, this is not their best work, I would say. I don't think I'm going to be clipping these. Just the material alone, just very very flimsy. You just don't. I don't know, man. Very. It's not good. This is not good. You want thick, substantial counters that are going to handle the weight. These individual ones, I feel very flimsy. They're going to warp over time. They're going to warp quickly with the constant pressure of your hands and clippers. And I'm not sure about the quality of the individual counter. I don't want to poke one out, but they're probably going to wear a lot on the edges too. So LFT has made better counters than that. Right, so these are all sized for A4, which means they're not going to fit into one of my other ASL boxes. So I'm going to have to find a way to put these in, probably some kind of pocket divider, page divider in a binder. And we have FT 310. The controversial black SS counters. Boo hiss for some. Six and a half turns. We have small unit count. Don't even have what, six squads, seven squads for the Germans, 11 for the Americans. Problem with small unit actions like this are they do not offer a lot of flexibility when you start taking casualties. This one here, you got 6 Germans, including 4 second line and 2 first line, versus a 9 747s. This is like the Gavin take one. It just, you can have a 9 747s assault firing that are going to be just advancing on your asses and pushing you out of the city. And it's all city fighting too. So now they don't have the 9, 10, 3, 10, 2 this time, like Gavin Take has, but they're going to be on your ass pushing you ahead. And they're 3 smoke exponents. So there's no reason why an American player couldn't be a little bit more aggressive and just be pushing with smoke grenades coming right up your face. And his foresighting is NA, so you don't even have that advantage. Loosening the noose, we have 6.5 turns, 2 turns of low visibility. Again, we have 8 squads versus 13 French. This is early war, June of 1940. Getting a little bigger actions now. We have winter actions in April 42. And finally, we're getting into larger unit complements. So we have 12, 17 Germans with some armor. And we have, looks to be 26 Russians with 7 tanks. Wow. T-34 variants. Oh, all the AVs of Russians are inexperienced, so that's going to be fun. Oh, Spanish. They're Spanish units. The Blue Division. Interesting. Stalin orders. Looking at 3 boards, including the bounding fire board. So a lot of people may not have those. I know I don't. So Vassal it is. Dozen or so counters, 5 tanks for the Russians. And on the German attacking side, they've got air support, 6 tanks, and about a dozen or so squads coming in. Backstabbing paratroopers, auspicious name. Quite small, 4.5 turns, very easily played, I would think. You're looking at sub 10 counters on each side for squads, and yeah. So this is not a paradrop scenario, but our Russian paratroops, they just landed already, and you just have to deal with that. And there's some partisans as well. Looks on the lookout. Nice name. Once more small unit action. 7 Russians with a gun and 2 tanks versus 6 squads and 6 German tanks in 43. Yeah, very small scale actions for these ones here. Smoke on the water. Funnily enough, there is no water on that map. On the one on the right, though, W11, there is water, and it's called W11. Okay. W11 German versus British. LFT board with the water on the left. Beach slope is slight. And you got British units are commandos. And it looks like they've, again, landed already. So there's no landing per se. It's more or less them being on the beaches and more or less just moving to take out the positions of the pillboxes, which have pre-covered arcs. And Saint Barb on fire, which is KGS. I'm not familiar with the map sheet that he uses. You guys can let me know in the comments what that is. I don't have it either way, but he uses the KGS map sheet. And here we're looking at, again, 11 squads undermanned against the Free French, who likewise only have about 16 squads with 4 tanks. Yeah. So all in all, the scenarios seem to be small scale actions. It's almost tournament size scenarios. They're not very long. They're all 6 to 7, maybe 5 turns, and not huge. And I didn't see one that had overlays in it. So I think very good complement of scenarios if you like small scale with infantry only actions, maybe a couple of small ones with units. There's a couple in here that have large numbers of tanks or combined arms, but Most of it tends to be infantry on infantry action with variety. All right, so there we have from the Cellar packet number 11, a player's guide to self-defense. If nothing else, take everything else away. Scenarios, or they're pretty good. The counter sheets, not the greatest. The articles on self-defense. It's a good Bible to study. I'm going to have to get this a good read. I haven't read the articles, obviously, as you've seen. I was surprised to find out it was from the Cellar. It makes kind of sense. It was packaged like this, so you had no idea, mystery bundle. But from the Cellar, number 11, good articles on the defense in ASL, and very important articles. And I highly encourage any ASLers that are struggling in the defense, like most of us, probably a good article set to purchase and read. No idea what the cost is. If you're in the States, Ritter Creek has these, I'm sure. If you're over in Europe, of course, go to LFT and pick it up. I'm going to have to give this a damn good read and bone up on my defense because it's definitely one of my weaker points. I know you guys asked a while ago, some of you did anyways, make one on defense. And it was kind of weird, like I would do one on the defense because it's one of the areas I struggle in. So hopefully I'll get a improvement in my defensive style. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.